was the angel Gabriel telling Daniel? In a nutshell, the same thing that God was telling Isaiah. He looked for justice. He looked for righteousness. But neither was to be found. So Gabriel told Daniel that 77s are decreed for this people to accomplish the purpose for which God has made them His people and His kingdom. Now these 77s are determined from a much longer period of time. And that's why that at the end of this, of verse 24, we see to seal up vision and prophecy. Well, which vision? And which prophecy? Daniel chapter 8. Daniel chapter 8 concerns a long period of time, 2,300 evenings and mornings. Why is this given in evenings and mornings and not weeks? Well, 2,300 evenings and mornings doesn't work out to a nice even number of weeks like 77s does. And evenings and mornings are used in the in the context of the temple, where every morning and every evening a continual process was in place in the temple, performed by the priests on behalf of the kingdom. And so we see in this prophecy, again, a kingdom that appears after this long period of time. So let's turn to Daniel 8, and we'll start with verse 9. And out of one of them, one of these, the four horns that grow toward the four winds of heaven, out of one of them came forth a rather small horn, which grew exceedingly great toward the south, toward the east, and toward the beautiful land. And we discussed this when we read Daniel chapter 11, is that the direction of conquest follows these directions, south, east, and then toward the beautiful land. When we see that the last thing that this great and evil ruler does is pitch his palatial tents between the seas at the beautiful holy mountain. And it grew up to the host of heaven, and caused some of the host, and this word host in the Hebrew here means an army. So what is being described here is a great war. A great war between the forces of evil and the kingdom of righteousness, the kingdom of God, the kingdom of truth. And this horn caused some of the host and some of the stars to fall to the earth, and it trampled them down. And we read all about this in Revelation, the book that describes the preparation of the bride of the Son of God, where we saw the fifth seal and the souls under the altar who had been slain. They are called bondservants and prophets. These are the host and the stars who are trampled upon. We saw that the two witnesses, the two great prophets who lead the kingdom of God through the time of the preparation of the bride of Christ, and they are in their ministry preparing the bride of Christ by delivering the message that God has given them, so that the people of the world will lose the trappings of the world and take on the white linen wedding garment, to be ready when the bridegroom comes. This horn even magnified itself to be equal with the commander of the host. The commander of the host is the Son of God. The commander of the host is the Son of God. And it removed the continual from him, and the place of his sanctuary was thrown down. He pitched his tents.
The commander sounds more like a military term.
Well, you're not that phone is not linked. You just have to talk over it.
I can hear it.
Commander of the host is the Son of God, and the place of his sanctuary is where this evil ruler, who is depicted as this horn, sets up his palatial tents. And he has a temple there in which he brings in the abomination of desolation, this huge image that he gives the breath of life to, then it comes to life and it begins to speak and it starts giving orders. And people are required to worship the beast and his image, those whose names are not written in the Lamb's book of life. And on account of transgression, the host will be given over to it, the horn. On account of transgression. Transgression on a part of the host, or transgression on a part of the bride. The fine linen, bright and clean, that was given to her to wear as the righteous acts of the saints. Because people will ask, well, if the host and the stars are the righteous, why does God allow this evil ruler to kill them and torture them and destroy them? It is on account of transgression. They must give their lives on account of transgression.